Good morning. It is Saturday, February 21st, 2026. 7 days away from Lily's 21st birthday. 21 years of raising a wonderful, caring, and empathetic child who has so much positive energy flowing through her, so much vibrance, and so much sweetness, and she is an adorable as heck kid. I'll tell you that now. And at times, yeah, she's really reserved and she can be a little shy, as people that have met her in real life from the channel know. But at the same time, when she does get to know you, she is really out there with you. And she will talk your ear off, and it is so amazing. I can't get over how much of a positivity having her and meeting Tiffany was for me all those years ago. I couldn't have picked a better mother with Tiffany. I couldn't have had a better kid than Lil. Now, our day did actually start a little bit earlier. So I found out Mom was admitted over to Advent Hospital. Well, she's over there now in the ER. I dropped Tiffany off over there so that way she could go ahead and stay with her for a bit. And the only reason Lil and I aren't over there is honestly because I don't like taking Lily into hospitals so much. Lily gets a little freaked out and she doesn't like dealing with them. She's seen too many family members go in and not come back out. Ranging from my Uncle Danny, way back, all the way to my cousin David, who died of cancer. So yeah. So what I think that we're gonna end up doing is probably talk with her about, we have a third bedroom that's not being used at all, and having her move in there. And I think that's gonna be for the best. Because really, I think as time goes on and things could get worse, having her closer would be better. And those of you that have been with the channel or know me personally know that my relationship with my mother has been recently gotten better. But like in the beginning times, when I was a lot younger, mind you, like when I was like below the age of 14, it was really strained because here I was a kid and my mom was like always off. And taking care of my sister, so I didn't get a lot of time. Instead, I was raised by my stepfather, who honestly drank quite a bit and did a lot of drugs and stuff like marijuana. And I was also raised by my brother and my cousin. So yeah, back then it wasn't exactly the best upbringing. But then eventually, then my nana next door, well, on my mom's family, she moved next door. And things slowly got a little bit better for a while. And sadly, around 2002, I think it was. No, 2001. That's when. Nope, 2002. That's when my sister died. And then in 2003, I believe it was, that's when my Nana died. And then later on that year, that's when I met Tiffany. And then slowly, my life started to get better. I started to come into my own on what I really wanted to do, what I really wanted. And it's just been great since then. And then later on, my stepdad, he just basically said, hey, look, I'm out. But did it in a weird, unethical way of basically saying, yeah, I gotta go up and get my license up in Pennsylvania. And honestly, it was just his way of saying, look, I'm done, I'm leaving, and I'm not coming back. Unless I need you. Unless I need something. Which, again, just like screw off kind of deal. But yeah. The other part of it was, with my actual father, Joe. I left Pennsylvania when I was about 8 years old. And it was like a backstabbing betrayal to him. And then when I came back up there for summer vacation, he didn't like that I chose my sister over moving back up there. And he got really, really angry about it. And he would try all sorts of bullshit, and honestly, I'm glad that just faded away for a while. I tried to reach out to reconnect with him over the years before his death, and each time all he wanted to do was just throw a little hissy fit and not even talk to me. Instead, it was Jackie who kind of was like, yeah, he's not in the mood for talking to you. I was like, alright, cool. Every year for a while I did it just to go, hey, I'm still here. But yeah. And then finally, you get to a point where February 28th, 2005, and your daughter is born. And your wife is going to go through a seizure in about 2 hours or so. And your whole life is just changing. And I still remember it to this day. And I have never wanted to harm someone so badly in my eternity ever before than at that moment. I had to go back home to my parents' place to go ahead and get a change of clothes because I just moved back up from Tiffany's parents. And I was sitting in the living room with both of them, with my stepfather and with her, my mom. And keep in mind, Tiffany and Lil are still at the hospital. Lily now has jaundice. But anyway, my stepfather looked at me. And keep in mind, he's been with me since I was like 5 years old. And his words to me were, you can leave her and just pay child support. On like the happiest day of my life. After over the years, everything has gone wrong. And two key people died in my life. I never felt angrier at a person than that point. And keep in mind, this was a guy that choked me throughout my life and would do lots of things to try to get rid of me. So for that, yeah, that was like my last straw. But back to Lil. I was so happy to become a father. It was unbelievable. If there's one thing I wanted to succeed at in life, it was that right there. So I immediately took every crappy job. I went to Walmart, I went to Taco Bell, did all kinds of stupid, dumb jobs that in reflection actually helped shape who I am, including McDonald's, where I can't stand just being in one place over at Universal. If like I see a group of bins at the bottom of the area, I have to take them back up if nobody else is doing it. Because I was taught if you had time to lean, you had time to clean. You always should be doing something on the company clock. You shouldn't just be a lazy person sitting there or standing. You got to be doing something. That's what I was taught. It was ingrained in all of us, mind you. So that's where I am at now. Now, for a while, I talked about wanting to get into teaching. And for a while, I liked the idea and everything. I really did. But I learned along the way that a lot of my ideas, they don't align with what the schools want. Like, I wanted, and I said it in the interview for the business ed class, that I wanted a professional decorum between the teacher and the student. Meaning, you come to my classroom like you're coming to your workplace. Plushies away, toys away, cell phones away. I want you to show up like you're going to a job. And I guess they didn't like that. In the Reddit community, and in the teaching and the substitute one, I put up how that I believe that teachers and substitute teachers especially, all throughout the state of Florida at least, and then we could expand it, should be required by the school. The school should be required, in conjunction with law enforcement communities, to wear body cams in the classroom to basically cut down on a lot of hearsay issues, and also to go ahead and handle a lot of other problems, so that way that there is a definitive I in the class. That I thought that was a great idea. The community did not like that idea. I don't know why. But it's not like you would actually keep the videos yourself. You turn the body cam in at the end of the day, and then it's uploaded into a data farm, where it's basically stored for a period of time in case there's an investigation that needs to be done. There you go. But one of the things that I have been curious about for the past while has been getting back into technology. And I was like, okay, well, I looked at Best Buy, And if you're not from America, Best Buy is basically a store that sells different electronic items like TVs, cameras, cellular phones, all kinds of stuff. And they also have something called Geek Squad. Now, Geek Squad is basically their repair team. If they can't repair it on site, then they send it off, and they're also an authorized repair center for Apple devices. So if you crack your screen, you can go there, pay a deductible, bam, done. And it's a genuine Apple part. That's the key part. So it got me thinking, okay, that's cool. Well, I went to apply for them. Masters in Computer Science, preferred. And I was like, holy crap. So the more jobs I started to look at, I saw this degree being required. And I saw CompTIA certifications a little bit less, except for like security and network plus. And that was for system admin jobs, mind you. So it got me thinking, okay, you know what? I am not going to fit in the teaching space. That much I know for sure. But where I did fit in was with technology, with the computer IT crowd. That I did fit in with. And I had a great time with them. Back when I worked remotely, and when I was on site and we had vendors come out, I could just have a great time with them, reminiscing about Apple IIs, Macintoshes, old IBMs that I first learned command prompt on way back in the day of MS-DOS. So I had a lot of fun with them. So I got a comment in today from one of our amazing family members here, okay? Tibby. You must be happy with what you are doing. But I've been a programmer for my entire professional life and are seeing some fundamental shifts in my career in the last 2 years. Okay? And he has some good points. Studying computer science is a waste of time right now. You will have theoretical book knowledge, but like me, will hardly ever apply it. And also about Claude Code, okay? And also that he's 5 years left before retirement. So this change does not bother me, but for folks starting in IT, it's going to be hard. You're absolutely right. You know, you are, genuinely. And I thank you definitely for your comment, okay? Because life isn't all sunshine rainbows, you know? It's gonna knock you down and you gotta get back up and keep fighting. I still remember that from a Rocky movie. And honestly, it's probably one of the greatest speeches ever. You know? It really genuinely is. What a passion. And yeah, life has been knocking us down constantly. And we've been trying to get back up constantly and slowly are. And truthfully, what I am looking for right now, what I am looking to do, is a two-parter. One, Associates in Computer Information Technology from Valencia. Having this degree will get my resume past a lot of these AI filters on resumes. So what a lot of people don't understand is that a gentleman from XYZ company doesn't read your resume immediately and go, okay, let's go and call him in. An AI filter is actually going to go and be a firewall basically and go, okay, you don't meet these parameters, and these parameters. So you don't get in. Kick back. Okay, so you do meet all these parameters. Let's go and filter you on. That's basically what's going on with resumes and job applications right now. That if you don't have those targeted things in your resume, you will not even get through that first AI wall. And that's the biggest problem right now. I have a ton of knowledge of over the years of working for dealerships, working as an IT manager, working as a help desk analyst. And I have the practical knowledge of actually working hands-on with all this stuff. But now what I need is the education knowledge as well. I need to be able to go, okay, yes, I have the education. I have the experience. Now I can get through that wall and then get into the next level, which is where a gentleman actually, or a lady, looks and goes, okay, let's go ahead and call him up and see if he's a good match for the company, this corporate recruiter. Then after that, then the corporate recruiter will go, okay, I'm going to send you on to another team who will interview you. That is general employment nowadays. It's no longer just me going up to a computer shop, hardly, very rarely this even works anymore, and going, hey, this is my resume, this is who I am, and I would really be interested in working with you. That doesn't work as much anymore. It does to a degree on small mom and pops, but not for the bigger bad boys. But that is just life right now. And one of my other things that I want to do, and I talked with Tiffany this morning, every time I pick up a game controller, I typically put it back down and I'm like, well, this is a waste of my time. I could have been learning something new. So what I want to do is I want to use the master's in computer science to not only help get me into a job, but also to give me some more groundwork knowledge in a standardized way that gives me some more coding knowledge. Because I want to go ahead and just build some apps just for fun. So I did actually register with Apple for a developer permission. So we'll see what goes on with that. But that's where I'm at right now on everything. And that's where Tiffany is and what's been going on for today. And right now it's 9:24. And I'm about to go have my first cup of coffee of the day. Now, Tiffany has asked that I do not take any supplements because we're trying to weed things out that oddly spiked my fever after I had that Dunkin' drink yesterday. So we don't know if it was too many vitamins or an allergic reaction to something in it, but something happened after I had that drink, and we don't know what the heck it was. But we're going to figure it out. And I'm going to be taking care of myself. So that way I can take care of them. That is what I'm doing right now. Now, as far as work today, I've already talked with Universal. I was like, hey, I'm more than likely not going to be able to make it in today because I got quite a bit of family stuff to tend to. And they're like, all right, go ahead and take care of what you need to. Just keep us in the loop. I do have a 6-hour tomorrow in the hub. So that is easy. And I can handle that with my eyes closed. Don't ever do that though. Okay? But yeah. I'll be honest with you. Over the years, it has been quite worrisome to me, especially about a couple of parts. So, going all the way back in time, I still remember back in 92. Yes, 92. We first came down.
Subscribe.
And what happened was, my Nana in Claremont, amazing lady, great patience with me because I couldn't spread butter, so she would have to do it for me on bread. She was with a really awesome guy named Joe DiMartino. And he was an awesome guy. He really was. I didn't get that much time with him. But what was really cool is that he was so polite to me, even though I wasn't by blood in the family at all. But I never felt excluded by him, or even by Viola, Nana, and Claremont. I never felt excluded by them like I did the other grandparents down in Bradenton, Florida. But he actually died, I think, of a heart attack in his recliner. And I was there when it happened, too. And then later on, then of course, my Nana, my sister, Aunt Robin, Aunt Bonnie, David, Noelle. Basically, the list just keeps going on. And that's the thing, as time goes on, you start thinking about all that has disappeared from around you from your earlier years. And I think that is the worst part of becoming old. That you reflect back on what you had and what you miss the most are the people. Because in 20 years, you're not going to think about that iPhone that you had. You know? You're not. You're going to think about the person that you went on a date with and you took a photo with. That will mean more than the phone itself. So before we figure out anything else of today, it's not the possessions that matter. It's not the places you go. It's just giving someone the time and making sure that they have your attention. That's the important part. And that's why, even with Tiff, I'm always like, no, you gotta put down the phone. It's our time. Like, I know people are messaging from YouTube and from other places in Facebook. But right now, this is our time. It's like, okay, I get it. And I have to be reminded a couple times about it too. Especially from like school stuff and from other aspects. So that's where that comes in. That, yeah, every now and then, you just gotta spend quality time with the person in front of you. Because you don't know how long it will last. But right now, it's 9:30, and I am going to make some coffee. Let's get to it. I would have made a waffle, but we forgot to get waffles yesterday. And we were at a couple stores too, which sucks. Yeah, we were at Target and we were also at Walmart. Darn. Alright, let's get it going. Let's get some coffee. Can you believe in 7 days it's going to be your birthday?
Not yet.
7 more days. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Yeah? How old will you be?
21.
Great job. 21. Do you remember what year you were born?
5.
That's right, 2005. And who is your daddy?
Oh.
Darn.
Yeah, that might be.
I cannot compete with Anime Daddy, can I? Now, I do think that I am going to change one thing about my coffee habit. I think instead of like 3 cups throughout the day, I'm going to try to stick to 1 to 2 and try to improve on that. All right, let's get over to Advent. All right, so yes, she is also being released, so we're gonna go ahead, take her over as well. We also gotta go ahead, and later, I don't know if I'm gonna take Lil down there and Tiff with me, but I could also go over to a Verizon store. I did order for my mom an Apple Series 11 watch. She currently has an SE1, so a first gen SE. And the thing with that one is that, honestly, it's kind of really basic. The newer one, they detect AFib better. They have some other tracking stuff on them. So I think that will do her really well. So that will be cool. And then, of course, we're also going to talk to her about moving in and how that could also be done. But for now, let's just get going. It is time to go ahead and get into
subscribe.
Valencia quiz time. I have a phonological awareness quiz that I have to do. Basically, it is 15 questions, 2 of which are multiple choice, and the rest are 1 to 2 paragraphs each that you gotta do it on. That is why this thing takes forever to do. Now the good part is that you actually have until the 22nd at midnight to finish it, and you have to score at least an 80% in order to pass the module. So that is the good part. The other part is keep in mind that you can retake it. So let's just say you fail multiple choice, you can go back and redo it. You cannot go back and redo a essay question though. And because of that, it kind of gets you there because that is where your bulk of the points will come from. And those are a pain. Because just think about 1 to 2 paragraphs for 13 questions. Yeah, it's a pain. But for the most part, if you pay attention to the textbook and stuff, it's not that bad. And overall, the entire quiz isn't that difficult. It just makes you think and make you reflect on things, that's all. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's get it done. Alright, let's go ahead and let's get going down to Margaritaville area. Let's do it. So real quick, before we get going down to 192, we're going to stop here at Publix and grab a bottle of water and then get our way down there. So essentially what we are doing, okay, is my mom is right now over at the house with Tiffany, and I am in fact changing out her current SE older generation for a Series 11 Apple Watch, so that way it'll be better for her. Let's go take care of this. Alright, Icelandic glacial water. Let's get ready for a nice little ride down the 192. Be a nice time. Mustang problem. They did not make these big enough for an Icelandic glacial bottle of water. That sucks. Alright, here we are over in Margaritaville. Let's go to the wireless market zone, pick up the watch, and get back home. There is also a Latin festival going on today as well. So let's get going.
We all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? To fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name. Oh, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at. I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life, whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things.
Alright, got the Apple Watch accomplished. Let's go ahead and get the AC on in here. It is actually pretty hot. Then again, it's like 91 degrees right now. I'll tell you something right now. Wireless zone over here at Margaritaville is the worst Verizon partner you can ever pick something up from. Absolutely the worst. Okay, first of all, I originally did that order this morning at like 9 o'clock, if you remember. I assumed everything was fine. Did not get a cancellation. Did not get a phone call saying, hey, we're out of stock. Would you like to switch over? It wasn't until I actually called them later going, hey, what's going on? It's 2 o'clock. Oh, yeah, we actually don't have that one in stock. And it's like, Jesus, you could have told me that or canceled the order. You know? Best Buy, if you order something and you go ahead and you want to pick it up from their current store, let's just say Millennia, and they don't have it after all, they will cancel the order on you and let you know, hey, this item is currently out of stock at this location. Would you like to cancel this order? Why the heck couldn't they? That was bullcrap, to be completely honest. And if I was on a time crunch and I didn't have a 2-hour quiz to do, yeah, I would have been pretty ticked off. But you know what? Then I was like, all right, let's try this one here. All right, fine, done. The point is, a horrible customer service, severely lacking, and I will not use them at all in the future for any of my Verizon needs. I would rather go over to Millennia, and that's a little bit of ways in Orlando, versus just a nice quiet drive down 192 and down 545, you know? But it is what it is. It's done. Let's get back home and have a quiet night. Maybe go out and grab something for dinner somewhere. Let's get going. Alright guys, let's go ahead and let's get going. Alright, let's go ahead and let's grab McDonald's quick. There we go. Alright. Alright, it is now 6:35 and it is time for an outro. It has been an extremely long day, and honestly, it is fitting to go ahead and just end the day with a nice sleep and just do some editing, work on a couple of projects, and take a look at the school project I gotta finish up as well in the coming week with the rest of the group. But thank you so much for being with today. I hope that you enjoyed it. It was an extremely long introduction this morning, but at least a lot got to be said out. I hope you have a good night and a good day tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be over at Universal. I will be working in the hub, and that is a really nice 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock. So 6-hour shift, not bad. But for tonight, have a good night and go get some sleep. I'll see you tomorrow.
But I know we won't give this up.